My cat is on the counter and you guys are probably going to think this is disgusting. Get off the counter and I'm going to get a plate out. Because my cat goes on the counter. So I was watching a baking show and she went to this restaurant and they were showing like these one pot, I think they call them hot dishes. They're kind of like a one pot dish. So basically I'm going to make it like this guy had done. I'm not quite sure all of the recipe, but I'm going to wing it. So basically it's turkey mince. I'm going to put some onions in. I love to get the frozen onions from the store. And then I'm going to put some mushrooms in it. He had mushrooms in it. He had canned green beans. I know this sounds gross, but I'm going to try it. Canned green beans as well as frozen beans. And also chicken broth. Now, he did use cream. However, when I'm on chemotherapy, I don't like creamy things. They make me very sick. So there's certain things I can't eat and drink during chemotherapy. I can't drink cups of tea with like cream or milk in it. I can't drink coffee with cream or milk in it. I can't drink fruit juices. I can't drink water. There's like a funny taste that happens in your mouth. I can't describe it. It tastes very metallic-y. And then whatever you drink, it tastes gross. So basically what I did find out was any kind of broth was really good. I like broth, chicken broth, miso, which is like a Japanese broth, and also like I haven't tried beef broth, but anything that's kind of like broth, I found it didn't taste so bad. Let me just sort my wig out. It didn't taste so bad, and it was very comforting and warming. So anyway, let's start with cutting these mushrooms and I'll start talking about my radiation. So I'm not quite sure how many mushrooms I'm going to cut. I'm just going to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm honestly just going to wing it. So I really should get my onions on the go as well. So let's get them started. So I put a cupful of onions in, and I'm also going to put some avocado oil. This comes back from my paleo days when I used to do paleo. And I still kind of do paleo, kind of. So I try to limit my carbohydrates, but not so much while I've been doing the chemotherapy, because for some reason I really like the comfort food and I just want to eat whatever I can eat while I'm on chemotherapy because it's just too much. Just don't begrudge yourself. Like, it's already a hard time. Don't make it worse. Okay, so we're just going to turn this on. I like to put it on a full heat and then turn it down just to get it going. So that's the onions. And no, I don't get rid of all this dirt on my mushrooms. I just can't be bothered. So I went and had my radiation appointment like a couple of weeks ago, I think it was now. And I didn't bother doing a video on it because it was just going to be too short. And I think just ran them all together, basically. So basically at that appointment, she did an examination on my chest again, my chest area. I'm glad I say chest because when you say the B word, like they sometimes censor you for that, YouTube. So I'm going to say chest as much as I can. She examined that area. Like, that took me by surprise because I know this sounds really silly and I'm wondering if other people go through the same thing as well. But I'm really scared of touching that area because I'm scared of finding another lump. And I know it is counterintuitive because, like, you don't want to be scared about feeling that area. And she said, like, oh, well, you have to get over that. And it's like, yeah, well, yeah, I do have to get over that. I know. Thank you very much for saying that. Don't get me wrong. I have loved the treatment, every single treatment I've had at that cancer hospital, which is in Edmonton. It's the Cross Cancer. I have had the best treatment in the world. So I love that place. So anyway, and I know that these people know I'm very matter of fact. You can tell that about my personality when I go and have my appointments. And, you know, I like to have a laugh and stuff. So I find that when I talk to people, they're very honest back because I'm honest to them. So, yeah. I don't know how many of these mushrooms. I know they're going to shrink. And I love mushrooms. My husband doesn't, but guess what? I'm making it. So if you're making the meal, who cares? So I'm going to put as many of these in as I want. So my cough has started up again. I don't know why. I used to have like a stress cough. I think that's enough. Okay, so enough mushrooms. So she did the check of my chest area, and everything was good. She didn't find any lumps, like, obviously. At this point in time, the reason why I'm going through 6 rounds of chemotherapy, and then she's told me that I'm going to be going through 20 rounds of radiation. The minimum that they generally do is 16 rounds, but this course of the FEC D, they generally do 20 rounds of chemotherapy. And you've got to, like, I live in Canada, so, I mean, it could be different to different countries, but this is what they do in Canada when they are treating... Do you think if I say it really fast? But you know, like breast cancer. So I am just going to cook these onions off. And then basically she just ran through everything that was going to have to go through. Like I was going to have to... She was telling me that I would have to have like a tattoo on my chest area, like 3 dots. So there's 1 in the centre of my chest and 2 at each side. And they're about the size, like, not even the size of like a wart. Like I have a couple of warts on my body and they're smaller than that. So they're not even big. So, and then she was like going through like, that I'd have to put cream on and like yada, yada, yada. And basically she gave me like this book, which is very similar to the chemotherapy book that they hand out, which I used to laugh at this information, but I mean, this is really good information, and if they give you some information like this, I really do applaud you, or encourage you maybe, to actually go through it and have a look at it. And like I used to laugh at this garden analogy here, but it is a really good like breakdown of what it's going to actually do to you. I'm just going to run through it really, really quickly. So they were saying it might help to use the example as a garden. So basically in a healthy body, imagine your body as a garden. The soil is your immune system, the good plants are your good cells, and the weeds are the cancer cells. When you're healthy, the good plants grow and the soil helps keep the weeds away. When the odd seed starts to grow, the body is able to get rid of it by itself. So the body with cancer, it says cancer cells are like weeds in your garden. Sometimes the body cannot get rid of the weeds and you need some help. So my form of cancer is an estrogen-based cancer. And I was also on the pill, so I don't know whether I had too much estrogen build-up in my body, and that's why this happened, basically. So the pill probably didn't help, if I'm honest. And then it says about the radiation treatment. So the radiation treatment is like increasing the power of the sun with a magnifying glass and aiming it at the weeds. The goal is to damage the weeds in order to get rid of them or prevent them from growing or making new weeds. Sometimes other healthy plants nearby might get damaged as well. So basically, remember when I had my first chemotherapy appointment, or when I first went to my oncologist appointment, she basically said, if I didn't have chemotherapy, the chance of it coming back was going to be around 57% chance of the cancer coming back. And then when I had chemotherapy, it targets the whole body, and I've got like a 27% of it coming back again. So when I went to the radiation therapist, I was there like, okay, I reverberated all of that to her. And she basically told me, okay, yes, but like with radiation, it's more targeted to that chest area. So basically, it's going to reduce me down to a 5 or 10% chance of getting breast cancer again. Not any other cancers in my whole body, but just to that area. So I don't, like, always ask questions. If you can take anything away from me right now, anything, my two pieces of advice are, if you're going through the same thing as what I'm doing, ask a ton of questions. Be your own advocate. No one's going to be your advocate. You have to be your own advocate. I also bought myself a little book, And I have all of my questions in here that I ask my oncologist. I stick all my business cards in here. I did all my B12 rich foods. I did all of my, I just put everything in here, like nurses that I loved, names and stuff. So if I had to go back and have a certain treatment, I could request them. So like, get yourself a little notebook that's just for your treatments. And right, oh, it doesn't have to be big. This is so cute and it goes into my handbag. Get one of these. So first bit of advice, ask a ton of questions, please, please. Second piece of advice, if you find something in your chest area, a lump, anywhere, if you find a lump in your body, go and get it checked out right away. Backstory to me was I found the lump, I went to the doctor, she gave me a rec, I was supposed to go to the ultrasound and the mammogram appointment, and I didn't go for 7 months. I didn't go because there was the pandemic that scared me. I didn't go because I was worried that it could be cancerous. How stupid is that? Yeah, honest worry, but what's the point in not trying to resolve it? You know what I mean? So if you find something, go to the doctor, get the rec, go and have the ultrasound and mammogram. And just because you get told that it's cancer, you might actually not have to go and have chemotherapy. Shocker. You're possibly not going to die. Shocker. Like, I might have had this thing popped out and like, I wouldn't have even had to have gone through all of this. But this is my story that I had to tell, obviously. And that's the positive that I'm taking away from this. So, sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there. So, let's add in the turkey. Okay, I'm just going to throw it in. I'm not draining this juice. Whatever, it'll just fry up. There is the turkey. Okay, so the turkey's in. Let's turn this down. It's a bit vigorous. Okay. You can totally see that my mood's changed. I'm full of energy. Well, not full of energy, but yeah, much better. Okay. So I'm going to brown this turkey mince. And I'm also going to throw a load of herbs in it. My go-to herbs are always like basil and oregano, or basil and oregano. Seriously, I don't measure anything, I just throw it in. I used to be so particular and like follow the recipe to the T. I don't even bother anymore. This is rosemary, I don't want rosemary. Maybe I do. Rosemary goes with turkey. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. I'm putting basil and rosemary in it. Now I didn't do this packet so well. I need some scissors. Okay. So what happened today, I went to the hospital today, and every time you go, like the day before you go for your chemo here in Canada, they take your blood work. I'm not quite sure if this is the same everywhere else. Let me know in the comments down below. So I get to see my oncologist. Now, the one thing that was worrying me going into radiation was the radiation person was there, like, I goes, oh, do I get to see you every week? And this, that, and the other. And she was like, no, you don't get to see me until the end. So I was kind of like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, am I just left on my own for 3 weeks? Like, going through all of this radiation? So that was making me a bit apprehensive. So that was a question for my book for my oncologist today. So, and I'm going to go through them questions and them concerns that I had, because I think it'd be good for you guys to know. Like I said, write down all your questions. I don't care how stupid it is. If it's making you worried and anxious, just ask. So, let that cook a little bit, and you can see my pretty face again. Sorry if I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to get this done. I need to go and pick my husband up from work. Like, he is literally staying at work until I finish this video. Anyway, so I went to have my blood work done. The blood work was backed up because like it snowed last night. I live in Edmonton, Canada, and it snowed for the first time. So whenever it snows, it's like people forget how to drive in the snow. I'll show you what it looks like. So that is what my back garden looks like from one snowfall. It was quite a lot, especially for this time of year. So anyway, I went and had my blood work done. It was backed up. It took me 30 minutes to have my blood work done. She struggled to get my blood work in my arm. There's a little bit of a bruise there. So she had to go in my hand. Do you know what? I don't even care about needles anymore. I remember on my second round of chemotherapy, they struggled to find my vein. It took them 3 nurses and 2 hours to get my vein in chemo. And that is why I got a port done. So I have this port here, and that is going to be coming out probably the end of November. I'm not quite sure. We have to do it away. It was done during chemotherapy last time, and I just think they're always worried about infections here. So they want to wait until after my chemo, but I want to wait after my chemo as well, because this round of chemo, I'm affected 2 weeks. I get affected slightly by pain, not so much now. I've got some medication to get me through it. So the first week is, you know, trying to fight off the pain. The second week is fighting off the fatigue. And the third week, I'm only just coming round, and then I'm feeling anxious because now I've got another chemo coming up. It's like a vicious circle. Anyway, it's the last one. And I booted my cat out, so if you can hear him meowing, he's going to still meow because I'm not bringing him in because it's just going to be annoying. So that's that. So let's add in the mushrooms. So I've turned the heat back up. Okay, so I've added in the mushrooms. Just stir them in, get them to cook a little bit, and then we can talk on. He is going to be relentless. I'm going to have to let this guy in. 1 second. Hey, what do you want? We don't want any. Gatsby. Gats. These guys have struggled as well because they know that I've been ill, and they've been out of sorts as well. Bless them. You do not want to go out there, girl. Really? You want to go out? Just look at it. She is a creature of comfort and she doesn't like going out. Excuse the shoes. Oh, she's going to prove me wrong because she's on camera now. Look at me go. Anyway, you're not here to watch my cat, are you? Okay, I'm going to add some chicken broth into this because, like I said, I want it to be a bit more brothy than I want it to be, like, creamy. And it'll help get them mushrooms cooked a bit quicker so my husband can come home from work. Maybe I might have to add something like a soup to it, maybe. I do have a cream of mushroom soup. I'm like, oh, do I want to add that or not? Maybe I will. My taste doesn't go until like Monday, so I might add some cream into this because this is like Thursday. We have plenty of time to eat this up. So I've changed my mind. I probably will add a soup. Oh, wishy-washy, backwards and forwards. Honestly, them cats always want the door open, but they never want to go out, and they always want to come in, and it's out, in, out, in. Isn't it? Hey? Out, in, out, in. Anyway, I will get this video finished, I promise. Stick with me, guys. Subscribe. You know you want to. Anyway, so I'm going to go through my book of information here. So there was a couple of questions that I asked my gynecologist. So first one was, do I have to have another echo of the heart? So when you go for chemotherapy, they want to check how good your heart health is, and then they do this echo of the heart. So they did that. I don't need to have a second one. Sometimes people do. I also asked when does the hair start growing back, and I think it's different for different people. If you have been through chemotherapy before, I would really appreciate it if you would answer down below when you started seeing your hair growing back. I have let's take everything off. So, can you see these wispy bits? So I'm wondering about whether to get the buzzer and strip these off. And I was never completely bald. I don't know how people get completely bald. Like, I mean, there's different chemotherapies for different things. And have you seen my like eyebrows have like nearly gone? My eyelashes have gone. That was another effect on week 3 that I had, was that my eyelashes were stinging. And basically the nurse was saying that your eyelashes are there to catch dust particles and stuff. And I was starting to clean the cat litter trays. So I don't know whether cleaning the cat litter trays was aggravating my eyes and making my eyes run and making my bother my eyelashes. I mean, I have cleaned my cat litter trays out today, so I don't know whether there's like different days it affects you more. I don't know. So, and I don't really like putting things in my eyes. I'm a bit weird like that. So, oh, okay, this is heating up pretty quick. What were the other questions? So, you guys are more important, by the way. Just saying. When do I have to have my port taken out? So I answered that question before. I had a port put in because my second treatment was really bad and you can hardly see it. I have a friend going through chemo and hers sticks out a bit more. Mine is very flush. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know whether it's got something to do with chest bone or something like that. Mine actually sits very nice on my chest. So she's booking that appointment for me. End of November, I think. I also asked whether I should like buzz off the remainder of my hair. She said personal choice. The reason why I don't want to put a razor to it is that I don't want to get any kind of ingrown hairs. I don't know if that's a problem or not. I've got it in my head it is, because I always used to shave my leg hair and stuff. When I moved to Canada, I actually got it lasered off. And it grows back like really fine like this on your legs. You can very hardly see it, so that's really nice. I wonder if that's a form of radiation. Form of radiation is laser, form of radiation, I don't know. Anyway, then I was asking her if the tattoo hurts, and I'll touch base on that in a minute because I had my radiation. Prep work, so I'll touch base on that. Well, I have another oncologist appointment after this one, and she said yes. So I have another oncologist appointment in 7 weeks. So that's pretty close to when I'm having my radiation treatment. So somebody is going to keep an eye on me, which I'm feeling a bit better about, because I do like the empathy portion of it. I like to feel like I'm being looked after and I'm not just another patient coming through the door. Anyway. And that was about it for the questions. So I finished my oncologist appointment. I was all clear to go and have my final chemo treatment, which is brilliant. I have all of my medication for my next round. Everything's all sorted. My immune system injection, because I've had every single chemotherapy appointment I've had. 24 hours later, I go to my pharmacy and I have an injection, which is immunotherapy injection to help build up your white blood cells. So I go there. I don't like doing needles on myself, so I get them to do it for me. And let's concentrate on this dish again. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to do this cream of chicken soup, or cream of chicken, whatever it is. It kind of looks like a thick broth. So I'm going to put this in. It doesn't even look creamy. I know it says cream of chicken, but it doesn't look creamy. Get in. Okay. And I think you have to do like 2 parts water. And I already have at least 1 can in here. Slowly had 1 can. Okay, so there might be enough water in there. Let's stir that in. Every time I do something, I get it all over me. I don't know why I don't wear an apron. Yeah, it's coming out like a thick broth. So you just add how much of a water that you want, the consistency. So guys, I have no idea how this is going to taste. I'm just saying. This is an experiment right now. I think I have to put this baked. I'm just gonna like bake pre-80. Then I can go and pick my husband up while this is in the oven. I hate leaving the oven on while going out. Oh well, it won't be long. Then the guy put in a can of green beans. I need to turn this down. Okay. If you're watching this and you've made this and you're eye rolling right now, I do apologise. I'm trying my best. Okay. I'm going to open this can of green beans. I don't know why he used a can of green beans, but he did. Okay, they're not as stringy. I've got a funny feeling he used French green beans, not green beans. I hate it when there's different terminology to everything. Anyway, I'm going to put this in, hope for the best. So, anybody at home, tell me why you use canned green beans, I just don't know. But his did look more stringy. They looked more like French beans and not green beans. So he should have said that a bit better. So, and then he also put some green beans in. If you've made this, please let me know. I know I said that already, but let me know. How am I doing? Oh, wordy. Okay. Now this just looks like a green bean recipe. There's hardly any meat. Oh well. Okay. I think there needs to be more liquid. This is just like quilting, honestly, just wing it. Do you know what? Do you reckon there should be some garlic in here? Should we put garlic in here? Thumbs up on the garlic. Okay, I'm putting it, he's going in. It's going in! Right. I get this garlic that's already been done because I'm too lazy to cut it. I just put 2 teaspoons in. Okay, I put a load of broth in because I know it's going to dry out on me. So, I don't know why I'm putting it in the oven. Who knows? Anyway. I can put it in there just to keep warm, I guess. Right, so let's talk about the radiation appointment while that is like just heating up, ready to be put in the oven. Okay, so I do need to put my wig back on. I need to go and pick my husband up pretty soon. So let's go through, I'm doing like 10,000 things at once while you guys are all watching and I really don't care anymore. This is what all this has brought me to. Like, I remember when my YouTube videos had to be absolutely perfect. Now you guys are seeing me for the raw me. I don't even have to be, I don't have to be worried about the fringe. The fringe or the bangs. Okay. I'm going to put my cap on. So, I had my radiation appointment today. And I was a little bit apprehensive about it. I had to put the gown on again. And then I basically, so the radiation machine is very much like, oh, let me see my head. The radiation machine is very much like a CAT scan. So you basically lie down on it. They have like a bar behind you and they want you to grab a hold of the bar like this behind you and you rest your arms down. And what they do, they get the prep work all done to have the markers put on your chest. So they used to do one right up here and they don't do that one anymore, which brilliant because these tattoos are actually permanent and I'll probably show you another time what they actually look like. They really aren't that big. I'll probably just do a YouTube short on it. They're not huge. They're like a little pen mark. But saying that, I've not even looked at it myself just yet. I was more concerned it was going to hurt me and it didn't hurt. I found that my biopsy at the most part has been the worst part of all of this, like with chemotherapy treatments and the mammogram, the ultrasound, the surgery, and yeah, I'm finding that the biopsy has been the worst part so far. So the tattoos, please don't be worried about them, they really don't hurt. So if you have to have them, they're just like a little, just like a, it's just like a needle, like a regular needle, it really doesn't hurt. So they laid me on the bed at first and then they had me go into the machine, it raised up, it lowered, it span around, it twirly things. Oh! And then they practice with you because you've got to hold your breath for like 30 seconds. And I think that's because the radiation is going close to my heart. So it actually helps to move the heart away a little bit, I think, when you stop breathing. So I have to practice how to stop breathing for 30 seconds, and I tried it in the bath the other day and it was really difficult. And when I was with my oncologist just before, she said that her patient used to count, so Joe had on them like them tiles that they get in hospitals, like there's like little dots on them. So and then, do you know them cheap tiles that you put in your basement and stuff? They're like little dots on them. So her patient used to count how many dots were on there. And it actually helps you to get through to 30 seconds without even thinking about it. It's better than counting 1 to 30 without something to look at. So if you look above and there's something you can count that. So that's another tip that I'm sharing with you guys. So, and also, so after that, so they concentrated on whether I could like hold my breath for 30 seconds. I faux pas on a couple of them, and then I got it spot on the next time. And then they did the tattoos, and then I asked a couple of questions there as well. So I asked them straight out, am I going to get burnt from this? Is this going to burn me? Sorry, I had to cough. Didn't want you to hear that. So, and he turned around and said, like, it's very, very rare that you get a burn, and they will actually notice that your skin is changing. So they give you a list of all the creams to use. So they gave me a little pamphlet, and they basically say water-based moisturisers are recommended for use on the treatment of skin area during treatment, and once treatment has been completed, avoid moisturisers that are alcohol-based or contain fragrances, zinc and vitamin E and C. Some recommended moisturisers include this comes with my pronunciations again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Glaxal-based cream, Glaxal. Aquapore, generic-based cream, Kerry lotion, Cetaphil, Curel, Aveeno, which I was quite surprised at, and Lubriderm. Now, I do have Lubriderm in my thing, and it also has CeraVe, that's my oven. Plays pretty music when it's ready to temperature. So I have CeraVe, which is a very good brand, and I said, you know, my radiologist had said about that, but she also said it's not on the list, so bring it into your first appointment and they will look at the ingredients and let me know if it's not clear. So again, be your own advocate, ask the questions, tell them what you've got, and you know, it might be all good. I'm sure that's my stress cough coming back again. Other moisturisers may be acceptable. Please ask your radiation oncologist or radiation therapist if the moisturiser you already have is okay to use during the radiation treatments. There you go. Directions for use: you can apply moisturiser daily once you start your treatments. Clean your hands before applying the moisturiser. Apply the skin light layers. Do not rub in. So you're just like patting it on, I guess. You may apply the cream multiple times a day to relieve discomfort. Please ask your radiation therapist if you would like more information on how to care for your skin during treatment. During radiation treatments, you may experience some of the following skin reactions: redness and tenderness at the treatment site, dryness, tightness, flakiness, peeling and itching of the skin at the treatment site, blistering that breaks open and becomes moist. If this happens, let your radiation therapist know and they will send you to the RT nurse or oncologist for further skin care instructions. Be your own advocate, ask questions, let them know what's going on, like just tell them. So once you've finished treatments, you can call the radiation therapy nurse if you have any concerns about skin reactions. So there you go, you are fully up to date with me on everything that is going on with me. So basically, I'm going to have my final chemotherapy tomorrow, which I'm going to let you guys join along for the fun. I'm going to ring the bell, I'm going to show you guys me ringing the bell. I don't know whether it's going to be emotional. It's probably going to be emotional for me. It's emotional every time I think about it. And yeah, that's a wrap. I think this video has been going on long enough. Thank you so much if you stuck to the very end. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to comment on my channel. That really, really helps my channel when you guys do that, because it helps push this video out to people like you that enjoy watching it, and it helps them. So if you find a lump, go and get it checked out. Don't leave it for 7 months like I did, and don't think that it's the worst thing in the world, because it really isn't. Chemotherapy is not a negative thing, radiation is not a negative thing, I have been totally honest and upfront about all of my approach. I know different chemotherapies and different people go through different things. This has been my total experience, and I've totally shared it and been totally open with you guys. Please look back on all of my other videos. They're extremely helpful. I don't fearmonger. I just let you know the facts, and I try to stay positive. And yes, I do have my down days, and I apologise for that, but they're few and far between. So thank you so much for watching. Give me that like, give me that comment. Please subscribe, I would really love that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.